Alright, welcome back everybody. This is the Norwegian lock picker. So this is part 2 of my video that I just did. I just repinned this lock with all standard pins and put the original core back into it and picked it through and wrote down the binding order. My theory is now that I'm going to pull this core out and put this core back in it with the same pins and then pick it again and see if it changes the binding order. If so, then I've verified the fact that there is numerous ways to keep these progressive locks challenging and fun. You just keep swapping the cores back and forth between them, and each time it'll change the binding order just slightly. So get on with it. I'll open this one up and swap the cores out. Okay, this is pinned up with a Reload Kit 6-pin key. And since they're all standard pins, I should not need a shim of any sort. Okay, I'll just leave that. I got a mouthy cat going on here. Dump these pins back out. Six, I think. Okay. This is core 3. Core from lock 3. Make sure that I didn't mix something up there. Put the key in there. Put the key in there, that way when you're dropping the pins in, you make sure that they line up with the shear line. Whoa, flinging them. Right. Okay. It looks like they all line up really nice. That should be a nice smooth lock and unlock with that key. Okay, now I'll slide this back into lock body number 2. Lock it back up so I don't slide out and dump my pins out. And I've left all the same standard pins in here. I didn't even pull a follower out to mix them up to make sure that I've got the same pins in the same order. Because of all the loose tolerances, every time you change something up, it might change the lock just slightly, creating a new binding order. And not lining up quite right. Back it up one. Okay, make sure the core is still nice and loose, and it is. Alright. Got my vise up here. Let's just test the key and make sure everything still lines up real nice and smooth. Not a bit of binding there. That's like butter, so beautiful. All right. Now to the fun part. Picking. That's what we're all here for, right? So here was the binding order with core 2. So it was 2, 4, 1, 6, 3, 5. Now we'll see what this one is now with number 3. Sorry for the sloppy writing, guys. Okay, top of the keyway, using the same tension bar, same Tron from Sparrows. Okay, nice light tension so we can make sure I'm not forcing a binding on other pins. Okay, 6, 5, feel springy, 4, feel springy. Double check here. I got a binder, but I make sure I count right. 6, 5, 4, and 3, and 2, I think it is. Okay. Push, a very gentle click on 2. I'll start at the back again. 6, 5. Feels like 4. Okay. So far we're going in the same order. I got, feels kind of like 6. I think it's 5. Oh, click on a 5. And it's open. That's strange. Maybe a little too light a tension here. I'm gonna give that a second attempt. And go just a little bit more tension. Alright. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Click on 2. 6 is binding up. It's kind of mushy there as I click on 6. So this time it was 2, 6. All the way to the back again. Come back forward. 5, 4. A little click on a 4. I think I got 3 here. Click on 3. 4, 3, 2, 1 is binding. One a good push there. Actually, I think 1 might already be set. That's seized up pretty tight. Okay. There's 4 again. Maybe I didn't get 4 set. Oh, there, I just overset 4. I felt that one go solid. Alright, so let's start over. 5, 4. Give it a push. There, I felt 4 give. This time we started with 4. Let's see, 6. Click on 6, didn't move much. 2. Nothing. Springy on 3. 4. Springy. So click on 5. Three. Click on 3. 2. Oh, 2 is pretty solid. And 1. You know what? Maybe I was pushing on 2 before, and I think I was missing 1. 1 moved, but I didn't really feel any feedback or anything on it, so it's really hard with all standard pins. Sometimes it's just not much feedback at all, and it's harder to tell if you're hitting that shear line or not. It's kind of easier just to keep pushing on pins until it gives way sometimes. I think a 4 here, nothing. 3, 2 moved a little bit. There's 4, 5, multiple clicks. That's probably a bad sign. I probably overset it. Well, this is kind of challenging, a lot more than I thought with all standard pins in there, because it's just, I'm not very good at counting the pins either, so yeah, I'm not feeling much here. Alright, let's try go through this a little more delicately here. Switch up my grip on my pick and see if that helps. Click on 6. Movement on 4. Movement on 3. Two, kind of crunchy. I think I'm back to overset again. 6. 3, click on 3, so 6, 3, 4, we'll click on 2, click on 1, interesting. There was a click on 3. I might be just not pushing hard enough. 4, 5, and we're open. Okay. I think what I'm doing is just trying to be too delicate here and not quite setting the pins all the way. Okay. 3. Click out of 4. Barely touched it. 5. I felt that one go all the way up and just mush in, so I was overset. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think set, but it didn't give much of any click or anything. 3, 4, 5. So a little more on 5. I don't know. I guess I'm having a hard time getting an exact count on my binding order here, but it is definitely a little more challenging than it was with the original core. And that time I just kind of went right down the firing line, started from the front and just went back, and it kind of clicked on everything. There's 5 again. Maybe I'm setting 6. Takes a little different feel for the standard pins. I heard Bosnian Bill talking in one of his videos about how he actually likes picking security pins better because you get a lot more feedback, and he thinks they're almost easier in a lot of ways, and I guess I'm kind of agreeing with that. I'm trying to go counterclockwise. That's a whole different feel. So if you're just picking with your hands, you know, holding your lock in your hands and picking, for me, it's really hard to do counterclockwise that way, because you're holding your pick, you're holding your tension wrench, and you're always pushing with your pointer finger. But if you can get a hold of a vise, put your lock in a vise and pick, it's a whole different feel, a whole different challenge. And then you can change it up. You pick the lock clockwise and then lock it back up and go back to counterclockwise, and then you're just getting a different feel for going different directions. So it's adding to the challenge each time. But okay, nonetheless, I think somewhat inconclusive. It is challenging. It does have a whole different feel than it did from core number 2. Core number 3, I'm getting different binding orders each time. Maybe I'm changing my tension up. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of inconclusive, but it does definitely give a different feel. So nonetheless, give it a shot. Test it out. See if it works for you. There's lots of variations and possibilities. If you're just with the progressive lock set, you got 4 different locks and 4 different cores, and just change them up and give them a whole different try. Okay, I'll go with a little more. Go with the bottom of the keyway tension here for raking it. Let's just see what happens. I can get this in here without it binding. Looks good. Very light tension. Nice. Okay, that is a octo rig. That's fun to play around with, guys. If you get a chance, order yourself a set. Check them out. Sparrows Progressive Locks. Great fun. Okay, thank you all for watching. Stay legal, and don't forget, if you don't respect the keyway, you shouldn't put your pick in it. Thanks, guys.